Are you serious? Are you serious? We've got wars and rumors of wars. We have breaking news coming out of the South Pacific. You do know that Kim Jong-un of North Korea fired 2 missiles last Friday. I believe it was last Friday. One exploded after it just got up in the air, not very far. The other one went all the way and landed off the coast of Japan in Japanese waters. Japan furious with this. Well, the Japanese government has just ordered its military to be ready to shoot down any North Korean missile that is launched at any time. Japan has ordered its military today to be ready at any time to shoot down any North Korean missile that seems that it could be threatening a strike Japan, putting its forces on a state of alert for at least 3 months, according to the defense military officials. Up to now, Japan has issued temporary orders when it had indications of an imminent North Korean missile launch. But that's been canceled. They're on high alert. They're ready at any moment. And however, because some test firings are hard to detect, they've decided, I don't care what it is, if they shoot a missile, shoot it down. Okay, we're not gonna wait and see if it was a test missile or if it's an actual, bomb or even a warhead, nuclear for that matter. So, wars and rumors of wars. While that's going on, the tensions in Europe couldn't be any higher as Russia continues to put tanks and troops and armored vehicles and missile launchers and defense mechanisms as well as offensive mechanisms all along the coast of NATO countries. Meanwhile, NATO is continuing to build up its artillery and tanks and what have you all along the borders with Russia along NATO countries. And then we know that at least 50 Russian tanks have entered into Ukraine, in eastern Ukraine. There's no denying that. And there's been an uptick in casualties, civilians and militarily, in eastern Ukraine. All of these things are just creating wars and rumors of wars. Of course, you have ISIS still on the offensive in every major Western nation of the world, with terrorist attacks going on everywhere. And then don't forget, ISIS is ruling with a rod of iron most of Iraq and Syria. At least half of each country is under their rule. All these things are happening in the Middle East. It's total madness. Israel feels that they know they're surrounded by many armies, which is exactly what the Bible said would happen. Jesus said, when you see Jerusalem compassed about by many armies. And you can find that in St. Luke's Gospel, the 21st chapter, around verses 10 and 11. Here's what it says. Actually, verse 19 says, in your patience possess your souls, and when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Now that is Luke 21:20. All right? So we're seeing these signs, wars, and rumors of wars. Jesus said in Matthew 24, when asked the question, what is the sign of thy coming in the end of the world? Jesus said, well, false Christ and false prophets shall rise, and they shall deceive many. And but see that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, and the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there will be famines, and there will be pestilences, and earthquakes in divers places. All of these, the beginning of sorrows. He goes into the persecution of the body of Christ. He talks about because iniquity abound, the love of many would wax cold. But when this gospel is preached unto all the world as a witness unto all nations, then shall the end come. And when you see the desolation, the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, whosoever readeth let him understandeth. We can see the talk of the third temple is intensifying. And even now leading rabbis are in the position in the Knesset. And there's discussion of a two-state solution. Maybe even try to be forced upon Israel in this September at the United Nations. All these things, you're starting to feel the buildup. It's getting intense. It's getting ugly, really. Have you given your life to Jesus Christ? We're living in the last days. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to Bible prophecy. But certainly, folks, don't be left behind, okay? The wrath of God is going to be poured out upon this planet, and you don't want to be left behind. I'll be back with more in just a moment.